maternity hospitals and birth centres throughout the UK, the primary carer for a pregnant woman will be a midwife. Sometimes these midwives work full-time in the maternity unit, and at some birth centres, the midwives may work in the community and come in to assist a labouring woman.
That's brilliant. Good girl.
These midwives are funded through the NHS. There is also another type of midwife who works independently. These midwives charge their clients a fee, and in return, the pregnant woman and her family are guaranteed the same midwife throughout their pregnancy, labour and post-birth. She is on call for her clients 24 hours a day. Because they are not under the jurisdiction of a local NHS trust, these midwives do not have to follow hospital trust protocols. And provided they follow the approved NICE clinical guidelines, they can help a woman to achieve the birth she really wants. Andrea has been an independent midwife for several years.
You trust yourself, you're doing a brilliant job here. I went into midwifery training with the long-term goal of practising independently. Okay, lots of talking to this baby.
Come on, baby.
I love working with, women and their families through such an amazing journey.
Look at you. Oh, eyes open. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really big eyes.
She was opening them with
Food.
It's such a personal service. You're not under any particular time pressures. You're visiting women in their home antenatally, and the visits can last from an hour to 2 hours. It's relaxed, there's time to get to know somebody really, really well. It's such a special way to work, actually, and it's so rewarding as a midwife to be able to follow somebody all the way through.
Yeah, I think that it's quite nicely engaged, isn't it?
I've booked a lovely independent midwife called Andrea, and I have absolutely every confidence in her, and I've hired a birthing pool, and all being well, that's exactly where I'm going to be delivering, nice birthing room and a nice calm birthing pool, and feeling a little bit more in control of the situation.
Generally, independent midwives work in the homes of their clients and tend to assist mainly in home births.
When I started my training, because my experience of labour were very much medicalised, I really thought I was going to be a labour ward midwife, one of those no-nonsense epidural queen. But the more I actually read Midwifery magazine and talked to people, the more I realised things don't need to be that way. You can actually practice a different type of midwifery that we're not used to actually seeing on the wards. I think it's actually quite sexy in there, actually.
Aida was wonderful. She's fantastic, and I just feel like she really understands my heart. Every question I asked her, she answered as though I'd written the answer for her. It was just wonderful.
I like to know the pulse, so that I know what her pulse is normally. So when she's in labour, if she's showing signs that her pulse is spiking up, then I want to know why. One of the signs that labour is not progressing well is through the pulse, so the maternal pulse will actually start spiking up. Some other people actually think it's the fetal heart, the recommendation that you ought to actually do the pulse every time you actually listen to the baby's heartbeat anyway. So, if your pulse starts spiking up, and I'll take that as a consideration to see whether, you're feeling a bit more distressed by it all.
Other women have also found that using an independent midwife gave them the birth that they wanted.
I've just felt on top of the world, and such a good experience, and I can see why now the very few people that have given birth at home that I know, and especially the few people that have given birth in water, are advocates of it.
It was a much nicer prenatal experience because I had an independent midwife who believed that birth was a very normal process, who didn't think there was anything pathological about this.
I chose to have a home birth myself because I knew there was no way I wanted to go to hospital, because I felt happy and comfortable in my own home, and also because I know all the evidence, all the research says that home is the safest place if you're a low-risk woman.
I did actually go 2 weeks and 5 days over, which was another nice thing about having a midwife. She believed this was within the normal realms of Pregnancies can last 2 or 3 weeks longer than the 40-week stated term.
Good.
All UK midwives have been trained in the NHS, and many independents will have had years of experience working in the community and maternity units before going independent.
And then I'll work with you. Okay, right, ready? I'd learnt a lot about managing emergencies in the home in my time in my training. And I'd also experienced quite a lot of emergencies on labour ward, in fact, a large majority of emergencies on labour ward, and that gave me the grounding I need for your basic skills that you have to use for resuscitation or managing a bleed or whatever. I got to witness a large number of home births, and that really kind of prepared the ground. I really saw informed choice in action in my training.
Yes, that's right. This is all new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful colour.
And the important thing is, you know, I did have people to telephone. At 4 a.m, I can ring a member of the IMA and say, I'm at a birth and this is happening, would you come out and attend? It would be the arranged backup. Or I might be at a birth and, you know, just need someone to say, oh, have you done X, Y and Z? Have you thought of all these things? That's what it's about. It's about the support network. You know, it's really strong and really important.
And how are you finding eating?
Some NHS trusts are providing a similar type of care, but they are few and far between, and there are now groups of women lobbying for a more universal standard of care.
One Mother, One Midwife is a campaign that's been going since about 8 months now, but what we're campaigning for is for the NHS community model to be implemented throughout the UK. And what that is where women choose their own midwives, and that is her midwife throughout her pregnancy, who she has for labour and birth and who she has afterwards. The majority want to have somebody that they know at the birth of their baby. It's not just choice for women, it's choice for midwives. I'm a supervisor of midwives and I speak to midwives in the NHS all the time, and so many of them are telling me that that's the way that they want to practice. They want to get to know them and know them all the way through and catch their babies as well and look after them afterwards.
120 is fine.
Everyone should be able to have this care because there is so much research out there that shows this reduces our caesarean section rate, it reduces our intervention rate, it increases breastfeeding rates, it increases the satisfaction that women feel, it increases their self-esteem, it reduces their postnatal depression rates, it reduces the rates of post-traumatic stress that women are suffering after birth. I think the way that I work and my independent colleagues work should be free on the NHS, and that is basically what the One Mother, One Midwife campaign is.